Money is such a thing that everyone, from a beggar to a billionaire, wants to acquire. It is not just a piece of paper, rather, it is an addiction in itself. Money is a language that everyone understands, from a PhD clerk to an illiterate politician. It is only money that has enabled people living in forests to inhabit towering buildings and to own vehicles that move faster than the wind. Money is a piece of paper that holds no intrinsic value, but it signifies the value of other things. Now, the question arises, from where did money gain so much power? Let's delve into a bit of detail. Thousands of years ago, humans used the barter system for transactions, where acquiring one thing required giving something else in return. For example, if someone had rice and needed sugar, they had to find someone willing to sell sugar and, at the same time, in need of rice. Faced with numerous problems, people sought a different approach and began using commodities. People used everything that had utility to create money. They engaged in business using cattle, grains, tobacco, and liquor. However, this presented another set of challenges, determining the true value of possessions and the perishable nature of commodities. Animals purchased would die, and grains would spoil. Humans needed a universal medium of exchange, leading to the introduction of coins made from gold and silver. Yet, carrying heavy gold posed challenges and raised concerns about theft. In response, goldsmiths and others devised a solution. They proposed, "Keep your gold with us, and we will safeguard it." In return, the goldsmiths provided a piece of paper, an IOU stating, "I have kept this much of your gold," allowing people to reclaim their gold when needed. This receipt, known as an IOU, became the precursor to currency. The world's first bank. The gold safekeeping shop was the world's first bank, and the receipt served as the world's first currency or note. However, this system led to a significant issue. After a while, goldsmiths realized that very few people returned to claim their gold, and many conducted business solely through the receipt, believing it represented the presence of gold. This realization fueled the creation of fake receipts, marking the beginning of the world's biggest legal scam. How banks create money. If I were to inquire about how banks operate, you might respond that banks lend the money deposited by customers, earning profit through interest. This simplified explanation suggests that if you deposit $1,000, the bank keeps a 10% reserve and lends the remaining $900, earning interest on the loan and paying you interest on your deposit. However, there's a more complex game at play. Banks can effectively turn your $1,000 deposit into $10,000 and engage in business. When you deposit $1,000, the bank keeps a 10% reserve, lending the remaining $900. Despite this, both you and the borrower have purchasing power totaling $1,000 and $900 respectively in your accounts. The bank, through virtual means, creates an additional $900 in the market by simply typing numbers into its computer. This process continues as the borrower spends the money, which is then transferred to another account. The bank reserves 10% and lends the remaining amount, allowing banks to conduct business by converting $1,000 cash deposits into virtual currency up to $10,000. Contrary to the belief that your money is safely stored in the bank, if a significant number of people attempt to withdraw funds simultaneously, the bank may not have sufficient cash to return all deposits due to the fractional reserve system. Money versus currency. The concept of money has intentionally been made complex to prevent easy understanding by the general public, trapping them in the system. People often mistake currency for money, but they are distinct. Currency serves as a medium of exchange, while money is a valuable asset. Bundles of $1,000 notes in your possession may lose value if the government invalidates them, as they are mere currency. In contrast, the value of a gold coin remains unaffected, irrespective of government decisions. This is my perspective, but please feel free to share yours in the comments section below. Real gold versus digital gold. Despite what influencers may suggest regarding gold bonds and digital gold, it's prudent to invest in real gold. Life decisions should not be solely based on tax considerations. A gold bond certificate won't buy a year's worth of meals, but a small amount of gold at home can sustain you for an entire year. This paper revolves around trust, and the world thrives on trust alone.